Okay, let's dive into something really cool today. It's a powerful way of looking at art, all the way from ancient India. It's called Rasa theory, and trust me, it gets to the very heart of why stories, songs, and movies just have this incredible hold on us.
Have you ever really thought about this? I mean, why is it that a heartbreaking song can feel, well, beautiful? Or why do we line up to see a terrifying movie that's designed to make us jump out of our skin? Logically, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Why would we want to feel these things? It's a really fascinating puzzle. Well, it turns out an ancient theory has a really powerful answer, and it suggests that it's not about what you feel, but how you feel it. It's all about this crucial line between a raw, real-world feeling and, well, its artistic version. So, let's get right into the core concept here. The whole theory revolves around this amazing idea of tasting an emotion, instead of just being completely swamped by it.
Okay, so the word rasa itself literally means juice, essence, or flavor, and that metaphor is everything. Think about it like this. When you're watching a really tragic movie, you're not just feeling raw sadness. No, you're savoring the flavor of sadness. It's like a complex, bittersweet dish. It's an experience you can actually relish. And this is a really big shift in how we think about art. The magic isn't just in the book or up on the screen. Rasa is an event. It's a transformation that happens inside your consciousness. The art is just the catalyst. You're the one making the magic happen.
This quote really nails it. It completely reframes what we think criticism is for. Instead of just picking apart a story's plot points or themes, a Rousseau critic asks a totally different question. They look at the person experiencing the art. The art itself becomes a tool for understanding our own consciousness. How cool is that?
All right, so if art can cook up this special flavor, how exactly does it work? Well, Rasa theory actually breaks it down into kind of a recipe, a really precise formula for emotion. So it's basically a three-part formula. First, you've got the vibhavas. Think of these as the ingredients, the triggers, the hero, the moonlight, the creepy abandoned house. Then you've got the anubhavas. These are the physical reactions that show the emotion. A character's sigh, a trembling lip, a clenched fist. And finally, there are the vyabhikari bhavas. These are all the little fleeting feelings that add texture, like a flash of anxiety or a pang of jealousy. You put all those together, and a skilled artist can produce rasa.
And this recipe can create a whole menu of these emotional flavors. The classical theory lays out 9 main ones, the navarasas. And look at this list. It's got everything from love and comedy to sorrow, heroism, and even fear and disgust. It's like a complete map of all the different aesthetic experiences art can give us. But here's the catch. This whole recipe only works if the person tasting it is actually ready for it. Turns out the audience, that's you, plays an absolutely crucial role.
The theory has a name for the ideal audience member, a sādhāraṇīkaraṇa. It literally means one who has a common heart. I love that. This is someone who's emotionally sensitive, culturally tuned in, basically someone who's on the same wavelength as the artist. Because without a sādhāraṇīkaraṇa, even the most amazing piece of art is just words on a page or paint on a canvas. So how does this common heart thing actually work? How do we connect so deeply? Well, the mechanism for this is called sādhāraṇīkaraṇa, which is a fancy word for universalisation. It's the process where a specific character's very personal feelings get transformed into a universal, shared experience for all of us.
And when this happens, something really fascinating goes on in your brain. Your own personal ego kinda takes a backseat. You stop thinking, oh, that poor character, I feel so bad for them. Instead, you connect with the pure impersonal essence of grief itself, or love itself. It's this safe distance that lets you relish even scary or sad emotions without actually being distressed by them.
Okay, so how do artists pull this off? How do they trigger this state in us? Well, they don't just spell it out. They're way smarter than that. They use a much, much more powerful tool, suggestion. In ancient Indian linguistics, they talked about 3 powers of a word. You've got your basic, literal, dictionary definition. Then you've got the metaphorical meaning. But the real secret weapon for artists is the third one, vyanjana, the power of suggestion. This is that unstated feeling, that mood or flavor a word points to. And that is where the magic happens.
Think about it. A truly great poet isn't going to just write, I feel love. No way. They're going to describe the scent of rain on dry earth, or the way the light hits a particular object.
They suggest the feeling without ever naming it, and that allows the rasa to just bubble up inside you all on its own.
So I know what you might be thinking. This is a 2,000-year-old theory. Is it still relevant? And the answer is absolutely. What's so mind-blowing is seeing how it lines up with, and in some cases came way before, huge ideas in Western thought and even modern science. Let's take a classic example, Aristotle's idea of catharsis. In the West, we often think of sad art as a way to purge our emotions, like a psychological release. But rasa is totally different. It's not about getting rid of an emotion. It's about nourishing our consciousness by tasting it. It sees art as a path to a higher, more aware state of being. It's a fundamentally different goal.
Okay, now let's fast forward a couple of thousand years to 1919. The famous poet T.S. Eliot comes up with this big idea he calls the objective correlative. And what he says is that the only way to express an emotion in art is to find a specific formula for it, a set of objects, a situation, a chain of events.
Does that sound familiar at all? It should, because that is a near-perfect description of the 2,000-year-old concept of vibhava, the stimuli, the triggers, the ingredients in our recipe for emotion. It's just stunning. Here you have a giant of modern Western literature independently coming up with a core principle that was laid out in Sanskrit poetics millennia ago.
And the connections don't stop there. Today, neuroaesthetics talks about mirror neurons, these things in our brains that fire up when we watch someone else feel something. It's basically a biological basis for that sādhāraṇīkaraṇa empathy we talked about. And just think about modern video games. The player is both the spectator and the actor. Talk about a powerful engine for creating a rasa experience. So in the end, rasa theory gives us this incredible new language to talk about art. It moves us way beyond just saying, I liked it, or that was sad. It gets to something so much deeper. So the next time you engage with a piece of art, a song, a movie, whatever, and it really moves you, I want you to try this. Just ask yourself, what flavor am I tasting?